punkers politicians.
All right, and we back. Fireside Chats, Lord Bishop in the house, like we do. And man, we hitting on full cylinders now, bro. And I just felt like I wanted to every time like some crazy stuff, really crazy stuff happens, I like to come talk about it. When Afghanistan happened, Fireside Chats, Lord Bishop, y'all know what we do. And I just wanted to know, bro, are we starting to give Joe his proper credit yet? And by credit, I mean blame. You know what I'm saying? Like for COVID, check that for the Delta variant. You know what I'm saying? Border still wide open. I just looked at the daily stats for the cases, right? Because I was curious, like what it was like when Joe Biden come to office. Because I come on here and I'm like, why Joe ain't getting no blame? Why Joe ain't getting no blame? Like he, Donald Trump got all that blame for all of that. You know what I'm saying? He's not doing good. He's not doing good. And fine. You know what I'm saying? Probably he didn't do that good with the COVID. You know what I'm saying? That's why he lost an election. Okay. That was the alpha, the original COVID. You know what I'm saying? We on a whole new variant. It's a variant of that, but it's like this new thing, you know what I'm saying? Like now you get to see what Donald Trump kind of had to deal with, you know what I'm saying? And still you don't, because Donald Trump had to start from zero vaccines, zero knowledge of this thing. Joe Biden walks in the office 4 vaccines in hand. You know what I'm saying? A year that we got to study and learn about this. You know what I'm saying? And now this new variant, I'm like, man, it seems like it's getting worse and worse, and everybody's saying that it's just as bad. So I wanted to look at the cases, and bruh, I looked at on inauguration day. I looked at January 20th because that's the date I thought was the inauguration. And on that day, there was like 180 something thousand cases. And it was in that range, all in that area, probably from like 150 almost to 200 a day, in that range. You know what I'm saying? And then I go look at today, bruh. And today, I believe it was in the 130s. I say today, the last day I looked, which was sometimes this week. And they were in it ranged from like the 130s to the like 160s. You know what I'm saying? So, bro, we are almost right where we were. You know what I'm saying? When Joe Biden took office. You know what I'm saying? And Joe Biden took office with all those advantages. And it's almost like we here, bro. And he's not getting no blame for nothing. They're not even saying he's doing a bad job. You know what I'm saying? Now think about how they talked about Trump and his job. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's almost like this stuff is not as easy as it looks on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? It's not as easy as it looks from your couch watching the press conference. You know what I'm saying, bro? You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, bro. Like, surely he's not getting like back to Joe and the blame or whatever. Surely he's not getting, they don't blame him for that. And surely he's not getting the blame for the reason that we here today, which is Afghanistan. And look, he's getting a little bit of blame, but he's not getting enough blame. You know what I'm saying? Definitely not from the media. Surely not from the cheerleaders on his side. You know what I'm saying? It's just insane, bruh. And I got a lot to say. This is just going to be strictly on Afghanistan, bruh. I got a lot of notes, and I got some Twitter streets, and it's all going to be Afghanistan, kind of like we did the that G7 Putin, all of that stuff when that went down. So I ask y'all a lot, like I do it a lot on this podcast, and I'm like, man, do y'all trust Joe Biden? And I usually do it in a way where I ask Obama. Like, I would like to, if I had one question, what would I ask Obama? And it would be, do you trust Joe Biden to be the one that's sitting in the chair that you were sitting in that war room when they was going to get Osama bin Laden? I say that because that's the, everybody knows that pick. You know what I'm saying? It's a famous pick. I'll have it on the, on the YouTube where, do you trust Joe Biden to be in this? Because I've always said that I say that he would say that he would trust him, but I'd like to ask him to his face so he can look me in my eyes and I can see if I believe him. You know what I'm saying? Because, bruh, look what we seeing, bro. Like, do y'all listener? Is your answer still yes? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm about to run down a lot of reasons in this next probably hour or so that you know what I'm saying? Like, that might change your mind if you ain't changed your mind yet, bro. Like, whoo, my goodness, but like, I never did trust him, for things like this, and God, my goodness, he's proven me right. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, bro. Like, can't y'all see the irresponsibility? You know what I'm saying? And even the danger of having a jellyfish as the president, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, you got Trump out, but bruh, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, bruh. Like, cause like, just think how dangerous that is. I don't know. Like, it's still like such a perilous situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's say, like China or Russia would like come in and attack what soldiers we have left and all of that. You know what I'm saying? And force us into some horrible situation, and we got Joe Biden and Kamala Harris making the calls, bruh. Like, look at the call that Joe just made. Like, in contrary to his intel people, bruh. We're gonna get all into it, but I mean, come on, y'all. Like Mr. Empathy, Joe Biden. You know, remember all that? Like, that's why we need Joe. Trump is an asshole. He's a dick. He got the mean tweets. We want somebody with empathy. We want somebody that cares. You know what I'm saying? Look how fast Joe Biden went. Like how fast he went from Mr. Empathy. You know what I'm saying? To fuck 'em Biden. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like all them Afghan ladies and women and children, yeah, fuck them. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they can't stand up for themselves, you know what I'm saying? Like, what you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't nobody, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody putting it like that either, but ain't nobody looking at it like that. Remember Mr. Empathy? You know what I'm saying? Where's Mr. Empathy now? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell you why I think he did it at the end. We're gonna talk about what was done and all of that, and then at the end I'm gonna tell y'all the reason why I think it is, and y'all definitely ain't heard this yet from anybody, and I'm anxious to see if y'all agree with me, but yeah, he went from Mr. Caring. I'll put the note. He went from Mr. Caring to Mr. Pull themselves up by their bootstraps. You know what I'm saying? That's what Joe did with Afghanistan. I hate that I'm smiling and everything through this, because this is definitely a serious situation. But bruh, Fireside Chats, y'all been, most of y'all been with me long enough. Y'all know the deal with all that. And so the deal right now, you know what I'm saying? Just to kind of sum it up, you know what I'm saying? Like, go back a few days and they come out and they say, we leaving and everything. You know what I'm saying? That was maybe a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, you know what I'm saying? But maybe about a week ago, like, I guess they started evacuating them things and the Taliban started going on the move, you know what I'm saying? And, and we said we would withdraw, you know what I'm saying? Taliban started to move, and then people started to ask questions, you know what I'm saying? And I got a couple clips this time. Hopefully it goes okay. This was a clip of Joe Biden talking about, you're gonna see, and y'all probably heard a lot about this, you know what I'm saying? But it's people asking him basically before this all went down, it was about to go down and they had questions. So let's just see what Joe got.
Taliban takeover of Afghanistan now inevitable?
No, it is not. Because you have the Afghan troops have 300,000 well equipped as any army in the world, and an air force against something like 75,000 Taliban. It is not inevitable.
Mr. President, thank you very much. Your own intelligence community has assessed that the Afghan government will likely collapse.
That is not true.
Can you please clarify what they have told you about whether that will happen or not?
That is not true. They did not reach that conclusion.
So what is the level of confidence that they have that it will not collapse?
The Afghan government and leadership has to come together. They clearly have the capacity to sustain the government in place.
And do you see any parallels between this withdrawal and what happened in Vietnam with some people feeling...
None whatsoever. Zero. What you had entire brigades breaking through the gates of our embassy. 6, if I'm not mistaken. The Taliban is not the North Vietnamese army.
Taliban.
They're not remotely comparable in terms of capability. There's going to be no circumstance where you see people being lifted off the roof of a embassy of the United States from Afghanistan. It is not at all comparable. So the question now is, where do they go from here?
Yes, indeed, buddy. That is the question. Where do they go from here? A lot to, well, I say there was a lot to unpack. I don't know how much I'm going to unpack here. I don't know, bro. He said all that. Okay. And interesting things right there. We will get to some of those things, because obviously some of those things were lies and some of those things, were inaccurate. You know what I'm saying? But like, so that happens. Okay. And then, the Taliban keeps on moving way faster than they thought, that they would, like they were saying 30 to 90 days, and it was more like 30 to 90 hours. And then they could tell, then it gets to be where, like I said, 90 hours, what's 90 hours, 3-4 days, you know what I'm saying? And it gets to be to where they're like 9 hours outside, you know what I'm saying? And I think they started to panic, you know what I'm saying? And so they start emergency evacuating, I guess what they can, you know what I'm saying? And then, dude, this story came out when they were like the day before they ended up taking Kabul, where the White House sent out a message that to the Taliban, offering them, or I guess threatening to withhold aid to any government that might form unless they like spared the embassy. They were asking the Taliban to spare the embassy, our embassy, or they were going to withhold aid to, quote, any government that might form. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't going to be the Taliban government. You know what I'm saying? Like, how many problems do we have with that? You know what I'm saying? You're negotiating with terrorists. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the hell, bruh? Like, this unbelievable, bruh. Like what he just said, bro. Like, there will be no circumstances where people will be evacuated by helicopter. You know what I'm saying, bro? Did y'all see the pictures of those people hanging on to the planes? You know what I'm saying? Like, I know y'all probably did, bro, because I'm at work and not a lot of people at my work probably, a lot of it's a younger crowd. They don't even pay attention to the news. And they were like, dude, did you see those people hanging on to the airplane and falling down? Like, oh my God, you know what I'm saying? Like, ugh. You know what I'm saying? And so, all of that happens. Kabul fall, like they said, like I was almost waiting for him to be like wrong once. You know what I'm saying? They're like, dude, it's gonna be happening faster. Like 9 hours. Kabul's gonna fall tomorrow. Kabul fell tomorrow. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh my goodness, bruh. And then, next day it happens. Biden comes out of hiding. You know what I'm saying? I don't know where he was the week before for the clip I just played, but the week leading up to this, he's on vacation at Camp David or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And all of this is happening, and still nobody sees Biden. Nobody hears from Biden. They showed one picture of Biden all alone in some room, consulting with all the people on a big TV. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? Finally comes out after all of this and speaks, and then he gives this speech. You know what I'm saying? And I don't really have that speech, and it's probably too long to play over here, but I got a lot of clips because I got a lot of issues with what he said. And there was a lot of lies in there too, and just a lot of wrong in there. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people had problems with this, and rightfully so, bro. Like, oh my God. And first of all, dude, like, he did take, he said, I take responsibility. It's on me, which was kind of like the only honorable part of what he did. You know what I'm saying? And then I don't know how honorable it really was, because he was like, yeah, I take responsibility the buck stops with me. But then he went on to blame, like, but then it was Trump's fault because he did the deal, and you know what I'm saying? And he's just gonna blame, other people, right? You know what I'm like, backhanded, like right away. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I take responsibility, but like, quite the leadership right there. You know what I'm saying? And then and before I get I probably should in fact I will, bruh. No, he said, I'll do it in order, like I have it. He said, he takes responsibility and he did all these things. You know what I'm saying? He said all these things. I'm gonna get to him. But before I get to him, like right after they played his speech, like on the TV, Brian Williams had this man on named somebody Zeller. I'm gonna have it in a second when I pull it up. And oh my goodness, you know what? We'll wait till the end. I'm sorry. We're gonna go out. Okay. That man that I just talked about spoke to Biden's speech. So I might as well go through Biden's speech, fairly quickly, hopefully. But I did clip a lot, and then I'll play the man Zeller, because Zeller was he's an army man that was in Afghanistan, and now I don't know what he works with people that used to that have fought in Afghanistan and that's trying to come home, whatever, but like that's his business. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna see. But let's move it on to back to Biden, the things that he said in the speech. And like I said, I'm not gonna play the speech, but I like clipped some of the quotes. You know what I'm saying? And he talked about how however long our troops were there, whether it's 5 years or it's 20 years, American boots on the ground wouldn't make a difference. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's his quote. You know what I'm saying? And like, bruh, it's been like not even like probably 48 hours. You know what I'm saying? And like, y'all don't think a difference has y'all don't see the difference in 48 hours. You know what I'm saying? Like the government that we spent trillions of dollars to put in there is not there no more. The Taliban is right back to where it was. You know what I'm saying? Like, you think those people are clinging to those you think those people thought that they would prefer to try and make it across the ocean hanging on to an airplane wing instead of living under the Taliban? You know what I'm saying? You don't think American boots on the ground like would have made a difference? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, dude. Like, you got China and Russia rushing in. I mean, I don't want to spend too much on each of these because, bro, there were so many. He said something about we needed to get out, because it's this long, endless war, and there's endless rows of graves. He didn't want to see endless rows of graves in the Arlington Cemetery, bruh. And some people have said it, bruh, and I just right before this went, look, bruh, just to get it kind of exact, less than American troops, okay, less than 100 deaths in Afghanistan in the last 8 years, okay. It was 99 by my count. 99 deaths in the last about 8 years, okay. And this dude is coming to us with endless rows of graves in Arlington Cemetery. You know what I'm saying, bro? Quote, enemies would be mad if we stayed in Afghanistan. You know what I'm saying? Like, is this dude's premise that China and Russia, which I believe share a border with Afghanistan, if not very close, you know what I'm saying? And America has been basically occupying it, and we built this big old, we got this billion dollar embassy and probably another $1 billion military base. You know what I'm saying? And this guy's premise is that our enemies would be mad if we stayed in Afghanistan. Like, what? Like, there's no doubt that they probably facilitated us getting out. You know what I'm saying? Like, helped the Taliban do what they need. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then not even 24 hours after we left, China is already cozying up to the Taliban. Russia too, bruh, and their $1 trillion natural resources and all of this. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, sure, our enemies will be mad if we stayed in Afghanistan. What the, you know? How about this one? We will speak out for the rights of Afghan women and girls. You know what I'm saying? And it's like Shapiro said today, it's like, oh, yeah, yippee, don't worry, he's going to say words. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, my God, bruh. The man don't even speak over here. You know what I'm saying? And don't worry, Afghan women and children. Joe Biden is going to speak out. He's going to use his words, you know, to stop the Taliban from doing what, you know what I'm saying? Oh my God, I don't even think about that, bro. Quote, it's not in our national interests the you know, to be in Afghanistan anymore. You know what I'm saying? They talking about how it's gonna be a terrorist haven, and how that will be expedited now that this is going on. You know, like how the terrorists are all just gonna flock to Afghanistan like it used to be. And you know, and the China Russia ally thing. You know what I'm saying? Now China, you know, Afghanistan used to be our ally. You know what I'm saying? Now Russia and China, I mean, Afghanistan don't really matter as far as an ally, but I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, now that's friendly territory for China and Russia now, and not for us. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, bro. Not in our national security interest. Think of all the things that almost have nothing to do. You know what I'm saying? It's always like, that's like this general thing that they be like, oh, we needed to do that because it's in our national security interest. You know what I'm saying? And this dude's coming over here and saying that Afghanistan is not in our national security interest. It's like, okay, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Like, that, I guess that's my quotes. You know what I'm saying? I thought maybe I had more. That was a decent amount. But then, you know, he takes no I say he takes no questions. That's what I wrote down. But I heard he took 2. You know what I'm saying? Then he shot out. Back to vacation. You know what I'm saying? Came give his speech because he had to. You know what I'm saying? Took 2 questions. Shot out. You know, back to vacation. Good luck, Jen Psaki. You know what I'm saying? Like just last podcast, a couple podcasts ago, I was talking about how, you know, and it pains me to say that, how you know, I have sympathy for Jen Psaki because of the situation, you know, how Joe don't answer no questions and then throws her, you know, and some of these things are tough. How tough, you know what I'm saying? How much of a harder situation can you throw somebody into than this? And the man don't want to answer no questions. He's just going to throw Psaki at it, bruh. Unbelievable, bruh. What leadership right there. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, before I get into some of them other things, I want to play that Zella man now, because it was just so funny, bro. Like, Brian Williams got smacked down, and bro, we got a lot of it on Twitter, so I don't want to mess it up. But basically, Brian Williams kind of set it. You're gonna see, bro. Brian Williams set it up. It's like, I wanted to get your opinion because you know, on this speech, because Joe Biden, he came out, but he owned it. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to get your take on it. You know what I'm saying? And watch what this man says. If I could pull this up. Oh, it's not you, Joe. If I can pull him up. Where you at? I believe he's here. Yeah. Let's see.
Found bold-faced lie.
That guy.
So I'm curious to hear your reaction of this consequential speech by the American president. Didn't run from it. He owned it. He owned his decision. He owned the fact that, as he put it, the buck stops with him.
I hope he gets to own their deaths too. I feel like I watched a different speech than the rest of you guys. I was appalled. There was such a profound, bold-faced lie in that speech. The idea that we plan for every contingency. I have been personally trying to tell this administration since it took office. I've been trying to tell our government for years that this was coming. We sent them plan after plan on how to evacuate these people. Nobody listened to us. They didn't plan for the evacuation of our Afghan wartime allies. They're trying to conduct it now at the 11th hour. The thing that they were most concerned about was the optics of a chaotic evacuation. Well, they got exactly what they were most concerned of by failing to do what was right when we could have done it. We had all the people and equipment in place to be able to save these people months ago, and we did nothing. I'm appalled that he thinks we only need to take 2,000 people. There's 86,000 people who are currently left behind in Afghanistan alone. We've identified all of them for the government. I have no idea why he claims that people don't want to leave Afghanistan. I have a list of 14,000 names right now of people who want to get out of Afghanistan. And the idea that the Afghan military should be blamed for this, do you know how many casualties the Afghan military took in an average year? More than the United States did in 20. When you're not getting paid on a regular basis, when you're not getting fuel, when no one is supplying you with ammunition, and yet you're still showing up to the fight, how dare us for having to blame these people for not having the audacity to be able to survive a Taliban onslaught? No.
Okay, it was almost over, but that guy, oh my goodness, just eviscerated Brian Williams, bro. Like, oh my god. And bro, we got a lot about that on the Twitter streets as well. So I just want to kind of I think I had some just some more observations, basically, like that's what happened, basically, as good as I could run it down, and then like, first of all, I wanted to point out, and I said it the last time, bro, like I am for withdrawal too, on principle, pretty much any of our troops wherever we at. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like my first answer, if you ask us if we should stay or leave, it's gonna be leave every fucking time. You know what I'm saying? So, and like I am not privy to the intel that Joe and all of them are. You know what I'm saying? So, it's a weird thing for me, but I don't know, bro. Like seeing it now, and then you hear people about how we was only spending like however 40 billion a year. You know what I'm saying? Which is a lot, but I mean, and we weren't taking no casualties, and we were keeping China and Russia from that. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's almost like I could say maybe I was wrong on that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's such a tough thing. You know what I'm saying? But regardless of how you even me, I wouldn't have been down to do it like that. It's all about the execution there. Like the idea might not have been bad at all, bruh, but it's just how you did it. And then when you hear like this man Zella, you know what I'm saying? Like, just break it down just like he did. Like, yeah, we had it already. We had plans, and they just, ooh, man, But, and then like all the rest was kind of like, people arguing about it. You know what I'm saying? Like the left, the right, all of this. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, like, you might think that's silly, and maybe it is silly, but it says a lot about a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? And I wanted to get into some of that too. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody was like it was all like, you know what I'm saying? Of course, the left is all blaming Trump, bruh. Like, that's all it is, bruh. Like, how long is that gonna last? I don't know, bruh. Like, and they blaming Trump because like Trump was, negotiated with the Taliban, I guess, during the last year. You know what I'm saying? In fact, it was during the last year, because I saw the pictures of the Taliban man in the White House, and he had a mask on. So definitely it was during the COVID, and, Trump got him to release some Taliban prisoners. I don't know what was going on with all of that. You know what I'm saying? But it's hard for me to think that, I don't know. I don't know how it would have went with Trump if it would have been Trump that was doing the withdrawal. You know what I'm saying? All I know is what I saw. And, like that big clusterfuck that we saw, this whole debacle was every bit as bad as like January 6th looking. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you the world and you just looking from afar, you know what I'm saying? Like, when they saw January 6th, they had to be like, oh my God, like, that is their capital right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, the same thing must be, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is big bad America over there. You know what I'm saying? In Afghanistan, and just look, it looked almost the same, bro. Like, so many comparisons with the Taliban people in the presidential palace in Afghanistan, so much like the guy with the horns and all of that, bro. Like, so many parallels, but and it's all like the left was like, but we were scheduled to do it. We were scheduled to do it. Like some of these arguments that they go on with, bro. Like, yeah, it's not Joe's fault. Like, we were scheduled. Trump's the one that did it. It was his plan. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, all right. They were scheduled to withdraw. We were scheduled to build a Keystone Pipeline too. You know what I'm saying? And then Joe won, and then there was no more Keystone Pipeline. You know what I'm saying? And we were scheduled to, keep that border closed and everything. And then Joe won, and then now it's, what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, scheduled. Like, Joe Biden has, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people said it, but this is all he has done since he's been in office. It is why he was elected to office, was to undo all the Trump stuff. You know what I'm saying? And now they're like, oh, well, you know what I'm saying? Trump started it, so you know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck is that? You know what I'm saying? I don't know, bro. Like, we were also scheduled to be opened up with the economy booming. There you go with another one, bro. You know what I'm saying? Not quite the same thing, but the same as in Joe Biden don't get no blame from that side. You know what I'm saying? Like, we were scheduled, like, you know what I'm saying? By this time, we were scheduled to be, basically past the COVID, hot boy, whatever summer, hot white boys, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? Living your best life. Everybody, that's what it does. Economy was supposed to be booming right now. You know what I'm saying? And look where we at, dog. And who's that under? Like, it's time to stop blaming Trump. You know what I'm saying? And let's get with it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, even, that's the crazy thing. Even Joe said the buck stops with me, and all of his cheerleaders can't get with it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it stops with Trump. It keeps stopping with Trump. It's fucking crazy, bro. Biden had undid everything Trump did, but now his hands are tied. Yes, I said that. Cheerleaders. Yes. Trump's fault. The Trump hate club is just as drunk off of the Kool-Aid as the MAGAs are. It's unbelievable, bro. It's death cult. That's all the fucking left says. The MAGAs are a death cult. And look at these motherfuckers, bro. They cannot even acknowledge that Joe Biden was wrong in any way, that he did anything wrong, bro. Like, they were blaming everybody and everything, bro. It was amazing. One time, I just like kind of looked at it on Twitter. I should have took a screenshot, bro. All of this is happening in Afghanistan, and all the people trending were like, they blaming everybody. Like, Jared Kushner. Y'all said Jared Kushner made peace in the Middle East, and like, I can't even remember all of the things that were trending, bro. Like, everybody name a person, you know what I'm saying? And it was a person from the right that was trending, instead of, they were just blaming everybody, bro. Like, unbelievable. And the other thing was, the GOP is the Taliban. You know what I'm saying? That's the other thing now. The GOP is the Taliban. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, Taliban comparing January 6th to the Taliban. It's just crazy, bro. Like, And I do, the note I have right here is, like, those people in the left, like, that's doing that, that's comparing the GOP to the Taliban and to the January 6th, but they don't understand. The left don't understand, like, how much, like, Taliban they got in them. You know what I'm saying? They'd be like tearing down statues. You know what I'm saying? They made this big, because they made all these memes about, like, how, this is how the GOP is, like, the whatever, and it's like, listing all the things. You know what I'm saying? And I just listed a few things myself just off the top of my head without doing any, putting any work in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, tearing down them statues. Like, which side's tearing down the statues, dog? You know what I'm saying? And then one of the things that they would put in all their memes is like, and they used it like in a bunch of different ways, was teaching religion in classrooms, and they want to start a theology and all of that. You know what I'm saying? Well, you know what? I don't agree with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what they got private schools for. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like the right is trying to do that in the public schools anymore. But I will tell you who is trying to teach religion in the classrooms. It's all these people with their CRT. That's the religion that's trying to get taught in the classrooms. You know what I'm saying? Y'all tearing down statues. Y'all teaching the CRT in the class. I mean, tearing down statues, teaching the CRT in the classrooms. How about accosting people in the streets? Like, you know what I'm saying? All this Taliban, BLM protests are going on, and you got these raging mobs going down the street, bro, just going into the, like going up to old people that's eating their food and yelling at them in their face and trying to make them like say BLM, you know what I'm saying, and all of this, and threatening them and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, the right ain't doing that, you know what I'm saying? Like, bruh, the left don't know how much Taliban they got in them, bruh. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I just thought about this for 2 minutes, bruh. Like, I'm sure I could think of some more, you know, but you know, Antifas, all them crazy fucks, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, bruh. It's just funny that and I did too. Oh, I think I talked about that already. About how I just thought it was important to say that me, as far as like Afghanistan, like how I was not, you know, I was not about going in at all, like to start. You know what I'm saying? Even though it was the Taliban and like the Taliban was sheltering Al Qaeda, all of that. We went bombed them because of 9/11, and I'm sure, you know, most people was in favor of that. I wasn't. Evil begets evil. I'm against war and all of that on principle. You know what I'm saying? And I find it kind of weird that I'm in the spot I am now as far as you know, to stay or to go. I don't know, when usually it's you know what I'm saying, it's come back. Like I said, I want to get out usually, you know what I'm saying? And it's weird. And I'm sure if you go back, I just saw that I'm almost been on Twitter for 9 years, which is crazy, bruh. And I'm sure you could go and find some old tweets where I compare Republicans to the Taliban, and you know, and a bunch of million tweets about how, you know, being in Afghanistan is bullshit and all of that, you know. And it's just weird. But then like, I didn't want to go in, you know what I'm saying? And mostly it's because of like life and lives, and you know what I'm saying, the destruction of lives and all of that, and like, you know what I'm saying, like none of that would have been worth what I am. And it's just interesting to me, like that's the reason why, you know, I'm hesitating on leaving now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't want to go in because of that loss of life thing and all of that, and the war and the destruction and all of that. And it's like, that is the reason almost why, you know, I can almost say I was wrong in my want to leave, especially like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just an interesting thought I had, you know what I'm saying? And it's like weird, because usually you have that and you're like a, you know, like hypocrites do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like how you look at some tweets from 10 years ago and it's like, you know what I'm saying? And you compare that to now, you know, people can throw that in my face like, bitch, you know, look at all this shit you said. Look at all this shit you said. But I mean, I don't know, bruh. It's 20 years, you know, 10 years down the line. And, you know, I guess it's just, it says a lot about a lot, bruh. We kind of wrapping it up. Like, bruh, I don't know if y'all know who Stephen Miller is. Not the crazy Stephen Miller that was in the Trump White House, that I think that's his name, that kind of borderline white supremacy kind of weird guy. But Stephen Miller is just this Twitter guy. He's still a righty guy, but he's very he has good observations, and he's interesting, you know what I'm saying? And dude, he had one of the craziest tweets, which we probably gonna have it on the Twitter streets, but I wanted to put it here too. We could have it twice if you want, you know what I'm saying? And it was somebody that had did one of the memes or whatever, and it was just like a kind of split screen where it had a picture of the January 6ers with all the crazy people with all the shit in like the Nancy Pelosi's, you know what I'm saying, in her office, and then it had a picture of the Taliban in the Afghan presidential office, you know what I'm saying, and they were doing, you know, same, can you spot the difference, all of that, you know what I'm saying. And Stephen Miller quoted that tweet, and he was like, so by this analogy, the Taliban will be gone in about 3 hours, and then Afghanistan will certify the results of the democratic election. Some Twitter fire right there, bro. Like, you know, what you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like it almost puts that shit into perspective for me. You know what I'm saying? How, you know, this January 6th was bad, bro. Like, it was very bad. You know what I'm saying? But as far as all of this threat to democracy and all of that shit, you know what I'm saying? So by this analogy, the Taliban will be gone in about 3 hours, and then Afghanistan will certify the results of a democratic election. Now think about, you know what I'm saying, where Afghanistan is. You know what I'm saying? Because those people was in there. You know what I'm saying? What were those fucking people in cosplay that were on vacation gonna do for real, bruh? You know what I'm saying? it's unbelievable, bruh. Like, I don't know. Couple other things, bruh. Another thing that was trending, President Pelosi, because of course all the right people are like, 25th Amendment impeach, whichever way it was 25th Amendment and now it's just impeach because whatever, you know what I'm saying, which is, they just gonna do it to try and get back, you know what I'm saying. But then everybody's like, yeah, well then it's and they're like, Biden and Kamala gotta go, you know what I'm saying, and everybody's like, oh yeah, well you know what that means, I guess, because they think that Trump is gonna would be the one, and of course it would be Pelosi, the House Speaker, you know what I'm saying. But everybody, I'm fine with that, you know what I'm saying. Well, I don't know how fine that the Democrats should be with that, you know what I'm saying, because what, impeachment takes a little while, you know what I'm saying. And what we about a year from the midterms, and what's the House spread right now? You know what I'm saying? Them Dems got what they up, like 6, 8, maybe 10 seats. Things ain't going too well for the Democrats right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, bitch, y'all catch yourselves a year from now. That might not look the same. You know what I'm saying? It might not be President Pelosi at all. It might be President McCarthy. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, these people better watch the fuck out, bro. You know what I'm saying? With their fucking razor thin majority right now. You know what I'm saying? Last one. And I said that I was going to say why I thought, like, why do y'all think that Joe Biden did it? Like, why now? What? Like, just because it was the Donald Trump plan? You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like it kind of just snuck up on us. Like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like, going into the election, or even for the last few months, like, Donald Trump did that deal, we gonna have to be out, you know what I'm saying. Ain't nobody talking about it. It was like all of a sudden, just in a month or so, yeah, we gonna do it, and it was fucking happening, you know what I'm saying. And what's happened in that, you know what I'm saying. And then you got Joe's intel telling him that the Taliban's probably gonna take over, is gonna be a terrorist haven, but Joe did it anyway. You know what I'm saying? And this is make you think, why? Like, why? And, just because he didn't want to pass that on to all the other presidents, y'all believe that shit? You know what I'm saying? This is why I think that, he, wanted to do that. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same reason why they fucking with crypto. It's because they want to pay for their infrastructure bill. You know what I'm saying? And they thinking, bruh, this is $40 billion a year that we could be using to insulate buildings and make fast railroads and fucking all of this bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is total speculation by me, but come on, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I mean, does that, how does that resonate with y'all? You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know, bruh. This is what I think. Dude, I think they just, everybody's complaining about how they're spending too much money, all of this, and they're not paying for it. Even they saying they paying for it, it pays for itself. But everybody knows that's not the case, and they know that they need money, bruh. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I just think that this was another way. You know what I'm saying? And Joe thought, look, bruh, this has been a stalemate for the last 5 years. You know what I'm saying? It's calm as shit. We ain't losing nobody. You know what I'm saying? We could do this. Use that money for that. You know what I'm saying? I could be right. I could be wrong. I don't know. But this is what I think, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? And Fireside Chats, baby. We just, we talking. It is what it is. But look, that's what I got for the note side. See y'all on the Twitter streets. Punkers politicians. All right. And we back. Twitter streets. And I definitely, I think I favored probably a little bit more than I should have, bro. So let's just get into it. The first one was actually the clip of Biden. So we're not gonna do that one again. Let's just get into Tony Smith tweeted, "I love the way MAGAs are calling for the 25th Amendment against Joe Biden. Tweet and dream, because that's all you got. Y'all have to wait 4 years like we did to get rid of Mango. If you 25th Amendment Joe, Kamala will take over. I know y'all don't want a woman of color as POTUS. Ha ha ha." And I prefer somebody with some sentience, like with a mind, like not a jellyfish. You know what I'm saying? I've talked about it before, bro. Like, I am no fan of Kamala at all, bro. I think she's a horrible politician. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like, race don't matter to me, though. Like, I just want somebody. I would prefer someone with a fucking mind. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not sure that Joe is there. You know what I'm saying? Just me. Next one is Elie Mystal. We've had Elie Mystal a lot. He's the Justice correspondent for The Nation. He's very radical, very about his blackness, but and I guess you could see how some people just turn anything about the thing that they about. You know what I'm saying? So Elie here says, I'm loving how white journalists are getting all up in the administration's face over Afghanistan, but black people voting in America doesn't rate as a humanitarian crisis somehow. And to that, I put, yes, Elie, black folk, check that people having no water in voting lines and less drop boxes, just like living under the Taliban. You know what I'm saying? What a fucking, you know what I'm saying, bro? What was he doing with that, bro? You know what I'm saying? That is the race card. You know what I'm saying? You know how they say, like, there is no such thing as a race card, bitch. That right there that man just did, that was the race card. You know what I'm saying? When you throw that shit in when something that really ain't about that. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Moving on. The United for the People tweeted Nicole Wallace. And Nicole Wallace kind of, well, I guess we'll see. Nicole Wallace said, quote, 95% of Americans watching this speech will agree. 95% of the press covering it will not. And bro, right away I was like, bitch, are you out your fucking mind? You know what I'm saying? 95% of the people are gonna agree with what Joe Biden just came and said. You know what I'm saying? Like, 95% of the people will never agree on anything in America, you know what I'm saying? Much less this shit, you know what I'm saying? And it turned out that a lot of people had problems with that. Like she started trending and everything, but bro, like as soon as I didn't need to see a trend, but it's like, I'm the fuck your stats guy. You know what I'm saying? 95%. I put Twitter is what, 70% lefty. Does it look like 95% of the left ass Twitter is down with what Biden is saying? You know what I'm saying? It looked like 50-50 to me, and that's on left ass Twitter, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Like, bruh, just ludicrous, bro. But Nicole Wallace got drugged for that shit. You know what I'm saying? Her and Brian Williams doing the little, they got Joe's back. They gonna carry that water, boy. Candace Owens, a bunch of yuck right there. Usually, occasionally, it is. What did Candace say? It's funny that I took a whole screenshot because usually I like quote something or whatever. But to do that, you got to, you retweet somebody. So you give them their little click. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't want to give Candace her click. So I screenshotted her little things. You know what I'm saying? Petty, I know. But you know what it is. What did she say? Joe Biden is literally reading from the teleprompter a speech that was written from one of his handlers. This is so extra embarrassing. He waited in hiding until someone could write him a speech to read impeach Biden now. Which, okay, that's whatever. It's the other one I think that I was like, oh my God, he took no questions. He read from the teleprompter for 10 minutes and walked away taking no questions. Joe Biden absolutely must be impeached. And this is not even funny in this puppet presidency. And I'll put that I wouldn't give him no more retweets, but no questions. I didn't know that. This is how I found out that he took no questions. And then later on, I found out that I think he took 2 questions. But you know what I'm saying? And I put, then he's going to run Psaki out there, for the next week to answer for his decisions, bro. Like we talked about it a little bit on the notes. Just that's despicable, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Run her out for some things, bro. Like something like this major, bro. You got to get out there and own it more than just saying the buck stops with me. Bye. Aisha Hazarika, blue check, tweeted, sorry, but this is nonsense. Be honest. This is America first with a kindly smile. That's his prerogative. But let's not kid ourselves that America will exert meaningful diplomatic efforts. Is he going to offer the Taliban visit to the White House? This was pretty shameful. I believe just yesterday Biden offered the Taliban funding if they spared our embassy. And yes, that was quite embarrassing. And in the last podcast, I said that they would fund their government. What I'm saying when I mean funding is like aid. I don't think like Joe was like, yeah, okay, we're gonna fund your whole government. You know what I'm saying? But he was offering aid to any government that formed. You know what I'm saying? Or dangled it anyway. Anyway, Pippa Crerer, blue check. And I guess they're commenting on the Biden speech, and they put that, my friends, was America first. All the cheerleaders came out, bruh, for when Biden, took responsibility, and the buck stops here, bruh. And they just ate that shit up, bruh. And I put Biden can take responsibility. Why can't any of his cheerleaders? You know what I'm saying? Like, the man came, he came and kind of said, my bad. You know what I'm saying? Now, he did it in a messed up way and blamed other people too, but you know what I'm saying? He said that was his decision. The buck stops here. You know what I'm saying? When people say that, that means that something bad probably happened. But you couldn't tell by all the cheerleaders, all the Go Team and all of that, bro. Like, they were everywhere, and it was fucking crazy, bro. Michael J. Stern, blue check. Do not blame Biden for the atrocities we will see in Afghanistan under Taliban rule. Bush got us into the war, and Trump struck the deal with withdrawing our troops. Unless you support continued spending of billions of American dollars and American lives, stop the blame game. And I put, Biden says, quote, it's on me. Most of Twitter does this. And then what that guy just did. You know what I'm saying? And I put MAGA ain't the only cult, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Even Joe was saying it, you know? And then the next one is just a screen. I can put the screenshot on there. It was just people cheerleading. It was like a whole screenshot of 4 people that I could fit in the thing. Just all cheerleading. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it was all that 95% was like, it's so funny that right there, you know what I'm saying? This lady says 95% of Americans would agree with Joe Biden's speech, you know what I'm saying? Which is such a ludicrous statement just off the top. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, 95% of people won't even like apple pie, or 95, you know what I'm saying? Think of something that everybody, you know, French fries. Not 95% of people won't like French fries. You know, ice cream. You know what I'm saying? 95, you know what I'm saying? This lady said 95% of the people will agree with Joe Biden. And I'll be damned if everybody ran with that statement like it was just gospel. You know what I'm saying? Like it was data. You know what I'm saying? Like Shauna, blue check, 95% of the Americans who heard President Biden's speech will agree with him. 95% of the media will not. Nicole Wallace with an important reminder. Like it's a fact. Nicole Wallace, 95% of Americans will agree with everything Biden just said. 95% of the media will not. She's 100% right. The next Tom T.O. Sam, 95% of Americans agree with everything Biden says. 95% of the journalists disagree. I think Nicole Wallace is correct. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just unbelievable, bruh. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, the great disinfo, it is, this info just goes one way, folks. You know what I'm saying? And there you go, right there. What did Lord Bishop say? A straight tweet from Lord Bishop. And it's the same. A lot of what I said. It's this when I say, well, like I might as well read it. Biden has tried to undo everything Trump since he got into office. Not this Afghanistan withdrawal, though. He can act like it's to, quote, in war. We all know that's BS coming from him. I think he went ahead in spite of his intel because he needs the Afghan war money to pay for his infrastructure. You know what I'm saying? I said it on Twitter, too. If I was a betting man, Brad, that's what I think. Next one, Whitney Robertson. Oh, and this is just, this was that guy Zeller that just crushed Joe Biden, talking about he didn't have no plans and all of that, and crushed Brian Williams with him. You know what I'm saying? I just put, Jesus Christ, why wasn't that guy in charge of leaving? I would have loved to hear how Williams responded. Oh, and that's the other. Why wasn't Zeller in charge, number one? And number two, like, the clip only showed the answer to Brian Williams' one question. It didn't even show Brian Williams reacting to that man shitting on him. But I would have loved to see how Brian Williams played that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you wanted to get his take on it. There it is, Brian. What is your take on his take? You know what I'm saying? But I don't watch that fucking TV shit. And I all to the same thing. I put, Oh, and I just quoted one of the things that dude Zeller said, but I am appalled he thinks there's only 2,000 people we need to evacuate. There's 86,000 people stranded in Afghanistan, and I have the list of them all. That's what that dude said, bro. 86,000 people, bro. That's a lot of people, bro. That is a fucking city, dog. You know what I'm saying? And just think if Joe Biden thinks there's only 2,000 people that need to be evacuated. Imagine that, bro. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God. And you see all them people running through that airport thinking they would rather hang on to the wing of a plane and make it over the ocean than stay. You know what I'm saying? Like, wow, bro. Mark Sparks, here we go. Cheerleading. Kudos to Joe Biden for taking responsibility and proceeding with that of what 95% of all Americans want. All in caps, dog. Media. The only person I've seen with a reasonably balanced report is super reporter Nicole Wallace. Brian Williams is annoying. Jake Tapper could be Taliban. Go team. What the hell, bro? Oh my God. I talked about Stephen Miller, who had that awesome tweet, which hopefully we get to that one. He had another quite awesome tweet, and he was quoting the tweet of Brian Williams and that guy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they showed the clip in the tweet, you know what I'm saying? U.S. Army veteran Matt Zeller goes off on NBC about Biden's remarks. You know what I'm saying? And Stephen Miller quoted that with, not sure why he's lecturing Brian Williams about his service when Williams was right there on those choppers with him. I don't know if you know about Brian Williams. He got in trouble for lying about being on some helicopters in a war zone. Like, bruh, that is some Twitter fire again by this guy, Stephen L. Miller. I should put the L in there. Maybe that'll distinguish him from the Trump Stephen Miller. But the funny thing to even that, like he posted that tweet and it was a fire tweet, bro. And then Stephen Miller came back. I guess he got some comments, you know what I'm saying? Because then he came back and he quoted all that and he put Brian Williams douchebaggery uniting the left and the right. And then I looked at the comments and like to that one that I just said, you had Mark Lamont Hill. You know, not a lot of love for Mark Lamont Hill from, you know, he's a critical race theory warrior, but he put the like laughing signs to Stephen Miller's tweet. And Tom Arnold also, y'all know about Tom Arnold, bro. And he put that's funny, cause it is, bro. Like, good job, Stephen L. Miller. AJ Restore the Rose Garden. What a name that is. If that's so important to you, you need to put it in your name. I wonder what your tweet's going to be like. The vet was yelling at Brian Williams that even though the Afghans didn't get paid, they showed up. What the hell? Is their country to defend? We trained them and furnish weapons, yet we have to pay? That's not why we were there. Rebuild and train them to defend themselves. They ran. Number one, I think he was saying they didn't get paid by Afghanistan, dog. Not that we weren't paying them, you know what I'm saying? And then, they ran. Before I do that, what is this guy? I just wanted to see if he says what he did, you know what I'm saying? Because he's talking like a big tough guy, but his name is AJ Restore the Rose Garden. You know what I'm saying? But he don't say. What did I say to AJ's wonderful tweet? Oh, because they ran. He's mad because they ran. And I put like Joe from that presser, like the Texas Democrat House from Democracy. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, AJ. Javid Hassan, blue check. Oh my God. Did y'all see even the Chinese state media was trolling us? How embarrassing, bro. And the worst part is, it was a good fucking troll. The Chinese state media, quote, transition of power in Afghanistan was more smooth than transition of power in U.S. presidential election. End quote. Twitter fire, folks. Oh my God. The Chinese state media, quote, transition of power in Afghanistan was more smooth than transition of power in U.S. presidential elections. Man, China getting some licks in, bruh. Oh my God. What else we got? Senator Marsha Blackburn tweeted the Taliban is willing to make a deal with communist China, a government that is performing genocide against Muslims. And I put, there are many different kinds of Muslims, Marsha. Some would say the Taliban themselves perform genocide against Muslims. Because, Senator Marsha Blackburn again. Oh, and just I had another thought. That's the senator made me think of. And it's just the way, like, what she did, you know what I'm saying? She cares about the Muslims here, you know what I'm saying? And it reminded me of how people bring up the Uyghurs, you know what I'm saying? And also how they bring up Chicago all the time. These motherfuckers bring up the Uyghurs like they bring up Chicago, only to score a political point. They don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying, bro? Motherfuckers don't give a fuck about none of them people, bro. You know what I'm saying? Next, Julia Davis. Current blue check. Currently, only the embassies of Russia and China are functioning in Afghanistan. Both are being guarded by the Taliban. Nice. It's not in our national security interest, though, folks. Biden's cheerleaders can rah-rah all they want. How bad does that look? It looks like 3D chess versus checkers right now. You know what I'm saying? Like you look at it and it's almost like, could China and Russia have drawn this up any better? You know what I'm saying? Like, not only did they get us to leave and install somebody that's friendly to them in place of our puppet government, you know what I'm saying? But they embarrassed the shit out of us in the process and made us look like fucking fools, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, today was a good day for Russia and China. And it was totally at our expense, bro. Thanks to Joe Biden. You know what I'm saying? And all the cheerleading and rah-rahing can't change that. Period. Mark Meadows, blue check. Biden's first 6 months. Begs OPEC for help with gas prices, pleads with Guatemala to address our border crisis, trusts the WHO and China on Wuhan virus origins, cedes Afghanistan to the Taliban. We're not just watching a slow demise of a president, but our country as well. And I just put election ad. Good luck, Democrats, because, bruh, there you go right there. And you know what I'm saying? Y'all better not throw Kamala overboard too fast, because after that, I'm telling y'all, bruh, it could be President McCarthy. So y'all better hold on to her tight. Stephen L. Miller again. Oh, and we talked about this one. This one was so good. I put it in the notes about how so by this analogy, the Taliban will be gone in about 3 hours, and then Afghanistan will certify the results of a democratic election. I think we went over that. Scott Adams, blue check. China and the Taliban are perfect for each other. That's the whole tweet. You know what I'm saying? And I just put, I wonder if Biden took that into consideration. You know what I'm saying? Because they totally are. You know what I'm saying? China and the Taliban, perfect for each other, bro. Remind me. Oh, and here they go. If Biden is illegitimate, so is Kamala. If we recall the electors, they both go. Which I don't even know what that means. Recall the electors. They still trying to overturn this election. You know what I'm saying? But then all of the people, and so many people are doing it. Like, remind me who becomes president then? And that's when the whole President Pelosi came in. You know what I'm saying? And I put, remind me again, how big is that majority in the House and wins the next election? Y'all better not throw Kamala overboard that fast. Just like what I just said, bro. I.J. Riley tweeted, Dan Patrick isn't even his real name. That's the guy from Texas, the AG or something like that. It's Diane Scott Gabe. I don't even know what that means. But they have a what you call it, a meme or a GIF, whatever it is, and it's COVID-19 deaths. And it's like, it has a bunch of countries, and they don't have all the countries because some that I would think are bad are not on here, like India, and what you call it, Indonesia for sure would be some that's not on there. But I guess maybe it's like Western countries, basically, because it's like Brazil is number one with 242 deaths per 100,000, and the United States is second with 183. per 100,000. Then France at 165, Sweden at 142, and it goes on. It's interesting. Vietnam only has 0.08. That's good. Australia doing really good, and some of these people act like they're doing bad, and then I'm seeing 3. God, that's good for some of these people. What was this tweet about? Oh, and this is kind of like how I led off the podcast. And, you know, we have some overlap here. Biden walked into office with 4 vaccines in hand. We were expecting to be done with the booming economy. Instead, we are here. And this, while the former guy who started from scratch with 0 vaccines got all the blame, Biden gets none. So we must be wrapping this up here because we on this. Yeah, you know what? I think that we should. I think that that's how we're gonna wrap it up, right? Because you know. I think we did good, and before we start getting back into the COVID and all these other things, you know what I'm saying, I just wanted to come on here and talk about Afghanistan because that shit is popping right now and it is going crazy, bro. But that's what we got, and I will see y'all next time. Punk is politicians.